In section 4.7, we are going to learn our last equation that you have to memorize in this chapter. So let's look at the key idea. The key idea is over point-slope form. Now, let's use common sense. Point-slope form would be used for a point and your slope. So here's what it means in words. In words, a linear equation written in the form y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1 is in point-slope form. That line passes through the point x sub 1, y sub 1, that just means x and y, and the slope of the line is still m. So here is what it looks like in algebra. Here's what it looks like in algebra. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. It's important to understand all you're doing is plugging in stuff. It is so easy. The slope m is the blue region that gets shaded in right here, or plugged in right here. The point x sub 1, y sub 1, the x goes here, where this red x sub 1 is. The y value goes here. That's it. So let's use an example. Example number 1. Write in point-slope form an equation of the line that passes through the point negative 6, 1 with a slope of 2/3. This is so easy, you have no idea how easy this is. So we're going to use our formula. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. All I'm going to do is plug in the two things. Your 2/3 is your m. That gets plugged in right here. Your negative 6, 1 is your point. This is your x, this is your y. The x gets plugged in here, the y gets plugged in here. All you do is now just plug everything in. Y minus 1 equals your slope, which is 2/3, times x minus your x value, which is negative 6. Now just simplify. Y minus 1 equals 2/3 times x plus 6. That is your answer. You are done. The next three examples, numbers 2, 3, and 4, are going to use the exact same instructions. We are going to write in point-slope form an equation of the line that passes through the point that's given and the slope that's given. So at the bottom, I'm going to write our equation again. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. All I start doing is plugging everything in. This is your x, this is your y, and your m is given. We are plugging in y minus, my y value is 2, equals m, which is my slope, times x minus 1, which is my x value. That is it. The next example. Y minus, what's your y value? It's 0. Equals m, which is 1, times x minus my x value, which is 7. Now we can simplify this. We don't need the 0 and we don't need the 1. So my equation would look like that. The next example, y minus, my y value is negative 5, equals my slope, which is negative 3/4, times x minus my x value, which is negative 8. A minus times a negative, or a minus a negative, is a plus, so we get y plus 5 equals negative 3/4 times x plus 8. And that is my answer. Example number 5. Write in slope-intercept form an equation of the line that passes through the points 2, 4, and 5, negative 2. Here's the first problem we have. We are given two different points, but we are not given a slope, so you have to find slope. Now, as you already know, the formula for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if we subtract, my y values would be negative 2 minus 4 over 5 minus 2. That would give me negative 6 over 3, which divides to give me a slope of negative 2. Therefore, my slope is negative 2. So if I plug it in, my equation once again, y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. All I have is my slope. Now here's the deal. I have two different points. I have this point and I have this point. You can use either one. So if you plug them in, y minus, I'm going to use the red one. My y value is right here, 4. So y minus 4 equals m, which is my slope, times x minus 2. And minus 2 is my x value. So there is example number 1. You could also have, now you only need to do one of these on your homework, but you can do either one. So if I use the point, the blue one, I would get y and then minus negative 2 equals my slope, which is negative 2 times x minus 5. So if I simplify, y plus 2 equals negative 2x, it would be just negative 2 times x minus 5. You could have either one of those answers. Now, I'm not sure if anyone noticed the mistake I made on purpose, but this is a common mistake people have. Look at the directions. Write in slope-intercept form. These two answers are not slope-intercept. These two answers are in point slope. So you have to get the y by itself. So I'm going to show you, now you could have, once again, you could have done this one or this one. You don't have to do both, but you're going to get the same answer. So I'm going to do both for your notes. You have to solve your equations for y. So the first thing we're going to do is distribute the negative 2. Now this is all review. Y minus 4 equals negative 2x plus 4. Now I need to add 4 to both sides, so your answer in slope-intercept form is y equals negative 2x plus 8. So over here, if I distribute, I'm going to get y plus 2 equals, distribute the negative 2, negative 2x plus 10. The opposite of plus 2 is minus 2, so y equals negative 2x, 10 minus 2 is 8. Notice, whatever answer you picked for point slope form, you get the exact same answer. So you're going to end up with the same thing. All right, let's do the next one. We have the points negative 2, 1, and 3, negative 4. So the first thing we have to do is find slope. We have a point, so we need to find slope. So I'm going to subtract. Negative 4 minus 1 over 3 minus negative 2. This should be really easy review right now because we've done this over a month. That gives us negative 5 over 3 plus 2, which is 5. That gives me a slope of negative 1. So look what I have. I have a slope, and you can pick either point. I'm going to pick this point right here. So I'm going to take this point and this slope and plug it into my equation. Y minus y1, my y value, is 1, equals my slope times x minus negative 2, which is my x value. So that gives me y minus 1 equals negative 1 times x plus 2. This is in point slope form. If you were asked to write an equation in point slope form, you would stop right now. But the directions state to write it in slope-intercept, so we have to solve for y. That means I have to distribute. Y minus 1 equals negative 1x minus 2. I add 1. That gives me y equals negative 1x. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. So my answer in slope-intercept form is y equals negative 1x minus 1. The last example, we still want to write it in slope-intercept form. Step 1, let's find slope. 3 minus negative 5 over 3 minus negative 5. That gives me 3 plus 5, which is 8, and negative 3 plus 5, which is 2. That gives me a slope of 4. So now I'm going to plug this slope in of 4, and I'm going to pick this point here. So y minus y1 equals my slope times x minus x sub 1. Simplified, that's y plus 5 equals 4 times x plus 5. That's in point slope form, but I now want it in slope intercept form. So distribute the 4, y plus 5 equals 4x plus 20. I subtract 5, I get 4x plus 15. So my answer is y equals 4x plus 15. You have to know your formula, so make sure you know your formula and how to use it.